Minjun handled each interrogation with effortless charm, weaving details into our fake relationship that sounded entirely believable. When my aunt asked about Zuri, he knew her name and age without hesitation, mentioning her love of drawing. "You're very good at this," I murmured when we finally had a moment alone. "It is a necessary skill in my world," he replied. "What world is that, exactly?" "You said business, but would you prefer if I said I was something more dangerous?" His thumb traced circles on my palm. "Would that make this more exciting for you?" "This isn't about excitement. This is about getting through one evening without being the family charity case." "You are not a charity case, Amara. You are a queen without a kingdom." The intensity in his gaze made my skin flush. Before I could respond, a presence loomed over our table. I looked up to find Kevin standing there, Tanya notably absent. "Can we talk?" Kevin ignored Minjun. "Outside." "I don't think." "It's fine," Minjun stood. "I need to speak with the host anyway." "Take your time," he walked away, leaving me alone with Kevin. Kevin sat in Minjun's vacated chair. "Who is that guy? And don't give me the restaurant story." "Why not?" "It's the truth." "Because nobody's heard of him in your circle. You tell Keisha everything, and Keisha talks." Kevin leaned closer. "I think you hired him." "I didn't hire him. And frankly, Kevin, who I see is none of your business." "It is when you're looking desperate." "That guy? He's dangerous." "I can tell." "He's polite." "Which is more than I can say for you. Don't act like you're better than us. You're the one showing up with a stranger, pretending you've moved on." "Maybe I've moved on." "Happy." Kevin laughed, harsh and bitter. "Amara, look at your life. You're a single mother living paycheck to paycheck. That guy in the expensive suit? He's not going to stick around when he realizes what a mess your life is." The words hit their target. But before I could respond, Minjun reappeared at my side. "Is there a problem?" His voice was silk over steel. "No problem," Kevin stood. "Just catching up with my ex-wife." "Then you are finished catching up." Minjun's hand settled at my waist. "The storm is getting worse. I am going to drive Amara home. Unless you have any objection?" It wasn't really a question. Kevin looked between us, recognized he was outmatched, and walked away. "I can call an Uber," I said. "The rain is heavy. Let me drive you." The SUV waiting outside was sleek and black, a driver already behind the wheel. Minjun opened the back door for me. "Thank you," I said as we drove through the rain-soaked streets. "For tonight." It was mutually beneficial. Minjun turned to face me. "But I meant what I said. About continuing this arrangement. For a few weeks." "That's insane. You said that before. And yet you agreed to dance with me." His hand found mine. "Think about it. You need breathing room. I need the same. I have a 5-year-old daughter. She can't know about this." "Agreed. This stays between adults." The car pulled up to my building. Minjun walked me to the door. "Think about it, Amara." He handed me a business card. I went upstairs, tucked the card into my purse, and told myself I would never call him. Monday morning arrived with the sharp buzz of my alarm. I dragged myself out of bed, got Zuri ready for kindergarten, and headed to the hospital. My phone started buzzing before I'd even finished morning rounds. Text after text from family members asking about Minjun. Even my mother had sent a message. "We need to talk about Saturday night." I was updating a patient chart when Kevin appeared in the hallway. "We need to talk," he said. "Now." "I'm working. You're not supposed to be up here." I told them I was visiting my daughter. "She's not a patient here." "Who is Minjun Park?" Kevin demanded. "I've been asking around. People say he's connected to the K-Town syndicates. The Mafia, Amara." "You're watching too many movies. Is he paying you?" "Get out, Kevin. If he's giving you money, you're putting Zuri in danger." "Security," I called out. Kevin left before security arrived, but the accusation hung in the air. That evening, Keisha came over for dinner. "So," she said, eating Chinese takeout. "Obi called me. And Tanya. Everyone wants to know about this Korean guy." "It was a favor," I said. "One night." He sounds intense. He is. At 10:15 there was a knock on my door. Heavy. Insistent. I checked the peephole.
2 men.
Russian. Amara Adebayo, one said. We need to talk about Minjun Park. I didn't open the door. I don't know who you're talking about. We saw the photos. From the wedding. You're his woman. That makes you leverage. Mr. Volkov wants a word. They left after a moment, but the threat was clear. I pulled Minjun's card from my wallet and dialed. Amara. 2 men just came to my apartment. Russians. They mentioned someone named Volkov. Lock your door. I'll be there in 15 minutes. He arrived in 14, accompanied by a massive man introduced as June. The Bratva, Minjun explained, pacing my small living room. They've been pushing into my territory. Someone sent them photos from the wedding.
Who?
We'll find out. But right now, you and Zuri aren't safe here. So what happens? You come with me. I packed bags for Zuri and myself. We drove to Minjun's penthouse in the Gold Coast. It was a fortress of glass and steel, luxurious and safe. The guest rooms are upstairs, Minjun said. Stay as long as you need. The next few days were surreal. I took leave from the hospital.
Minjun rentet for et tutor for Zuri.
I watched him with my daughter, terrified by how natural it looked. He taught her how to hold chopsticks, how to draw, how to say hello in Korean. He's good with her, Keisha whispered when she visited. I know. On Friday, June came into the study where Minjun and I were talking. We found the leak. It was your cousin Obi. He sold the information to the Russians to cover gambling debts. Obi. I felt sick. The Russians have him, June added. They're holding him as insurance. We have to get him back, I said, surprising myself. He's family. He betrayed you, Minjun said. I know. But he's an idiot, not a villain. Minjun looked at me for a long moment. We will meet with Volkov. The meeting was in a warehouse near the docks. I insisted on coming. Minjun tried to stop me, but I refused to be a passive victim. Volkov was an older man, cold and calculating. He sat at a folding table, Obi tied up in the corner, looking terrified. Mr. Park, Volkov said, and the African Queen. Let my cousin go, I said, stepping forward. He owes us money. And you, my dear, are valuable leverage against Mr. Park. I am not leverage, I said, my voice steady despite my fear. And if you think threatening a single mother and a child makes you powerful, you are mistaken. Volkov laughed. She has spirit. She speaks for me, Minjun said, stepping beside me. Here are the terms. You release her cousin. You leave her and her daughter alone. In exchange, I give you the commercial rights to the strip mall in Uptown you've been wanting. Done, Volkov said, surprised. We walked out with Obi, who was crying and apologizing. Minjun had his men take Obi to a hospital. In the SUV, Minjun kissed me. It wasn't gentle. It was fueled by adrenaline and relief. I've wanted to do that since the wedding, he murmured. Me too. This isn't fake anymore, Amara. You know that. I know. We returned to the penthouse. That night, after Zuri was asleep, we sat on the terrace. I have a daughter, I said. This is dangerous. I will protect you. Both of you. Can I trust you? With your life. 2 weeks passed. We fell into a rhythm. I went back to work with subtle security detail. Then Kevin struck again. He cornered me in the hospital parking garage. I'm going to the police, Kevin spat. I know who he is. I'm going to sue for custody of Zuri. Unfit mother associating with criminals. You abandoned her. I screamed. Watch me. That won't be necessary. Minjun's voice cut through the air. He stepped out of the shadows, June beside him. This is harassment, Kevin said, his confidence wavering. No, Minjun said calmly. This is a reckoning. June handed Kevin a thick envelope. 5 years of unpaid child support. Interest included. A petition for full custody solely in Amara's name. And a restraining order. You can't do this. I have the best lawyers in Chicago, Minjun said. Walk away, Kevin. Or I will bury you in so much litigation you will never see a paycheck again. Kevin looked at the envelope, then at me. He threw it on the ground and stormed off. Are you okay?
Minhyun asked.
I think so. Let's go home. Home. The penthouse had become home. The following Saturday, Minjun hosted a dinner at Seoul Prime. He invited my whole family. My parents, Nia, even Tanya came alone, looking tired and humbled. The restaurant was closed for the private event. The table was set beautifully. Amara, my mother whispered. He is very capable. He is, Mama. Dinner was exquisite.
Minhyun charmed everyone.
He treated Zuri like a princess, cutting her galbi for her.
At dessert, Minhyun stood up.
3 weeks ago, he began, I asked a woman to pretend to be my wife. It was a ruse. But somewhere between the dance floor and tonight, the pretense faded. He walked over to me and knelt. The room went silent. Amara Adebayo, I offer you my heart, my protection, and my life. Will you marry me? For real this time? Tears streamed down my face. Yes. He slipped a ring on my finger. Zuri cheered. I have a job, Zuri announced, pulling 2 gold bands from her pocket. I'm the ring bearer. Everyone laughed. My father wiped a tear. Even Tanya smiled genuinely. Minjun pulled me into his arms. I love you, I whispered. I love you, he replied. My African queen. We danced on the terrace, surrounded by family, the Chicago skyline glittering behind us. The storm was over, and in the arms of a Korean Mafia boss, I had finally found my peace.